but it will be sorted out. I mean, go back and see where China was about 25 years ago. Just yesterday, I saw it in the news. China themselves were celebrating their world today. They have succeeded in achieving 36% of the Forbes global billionaires list. Whereas 15 years ago, there are no more than 5 Chinese on the list. But right now, Chinese have actually swamped the whole of US, and they are targeting, according to them, to be 50% of the world's billionaires list. So I think in Africa, we have that same opportunity, we have that same chance. And don't think that, yes, we keep saying that, yes, potentials. Of course, the potentials are there, but we are the ones, that's including yourselves, that will make these potentials realities. Because where we are today, you just look at, for example, I mean, there's nowhere in Asia or even anywhere in Europe where they have a land they want to go and cultivate, they want to go and sell, food or export. We are the ones that actually have that opportunity. Today, as we speak, I mean, you look the case of Ghana. Ghana land cultivation is only less than 7%. Nigeria maybe 8%. So if we can move into agriculture, technology, there's nothing that is impossible. So I wish you well, and I'm sure you can also, in the future, in the next 20 years, make us proud to compete with China in the Forbes Global Billionaires list.
Thank you. Thank you. Your Excellencies, very distinguished forum delegates, let's put our hands together for all of that very, very distinguished panel, moderated by His Excellency Lionel Zinzu, former Prime Minister for Benin Republic. Another round of applause for His Excellency, please. Their Excellencies, both governors, and of course, we have with us none other than Africa's own excellency as far as enterprise, industry, creative innovation, and just absolute CEO, bullish African boldness, Aliko Dangote. Put your hands together once again, everyone. A little earlier on in the room, one of the delegates, one of you said to me, Auntie Dio, where is Aliko Dangote? He's my friend, I have to see him. I said, let me rephrase that for you. Aliko Dangote is looking for you. And you just heard what he said to you. If you're here today, the sky is the limit. More importantly, Africa is your playing field. Go and score your goals. Having said that, we'd like to properly once again
and also
welcome His Excellency the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and his distinguished entourage here today. How many of you understand that the business of national enterprise is first enterprise? So in every context of his own representation here today, he's not just here as a VP, he's here as an entrepreneur of nation building. We'd also like today to properly acknowledge with us the representative of the Executive Governor of Lagos State, Commissioner, Wealth Creation and Employment, Mr. Babatunde Drosimi Eti. A round of applause for him, please. We have with us also the representative of His Excellency, the Speaker, the Honorable Reverend Dr. Osai N. Osai. A round of applause for him. We acknowledge with us our corporate distinguished personalities, Chairman and Chevron MD, Mr. Jeff Enwick. We also have Dr. Nikki Okoye, CEO, Annabelle Group, and founder, Empower Nigeria. We have the GMD UBA, Kennedy Uzoka. Please, all of these distinguished personalities. And with us, especially as well, we acknowledge Her Excellency, the wife of the Ogun State Governor, Dr. Mrs. Olufunso Epikunle Amosu. Please, a round of applause for her. Well, there's only one way to say it. T-E. T-E. Where's your energy? More power. Motivate. Activate. Yes, right now. If you're sitting in the wrong position, Somebody become upstanding. Outstanding. Astounding. TEF. Whose future is it? Whose future is it? Can you do the connection, everybody? Whose future is it? When is it? Now. Shout it out. T. A round of applause for you, because here's looking at you. Africa's next set. We'd also like to celebrate and recognize Chief Banigo. Please, a round of applause. Let's appreciate him here with us today. Well, there's no stopping that which is happening right now. And I believe Espiritos Enterprise Africa is on. El Pasión. Thank you very much. Today, it's not just about Nigeria, it's Africa. And Africa is a blend of every language, but the most important one being enterprise. Enjoy Ebere Young. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's an amazing woman, ladies and gentlemen. Can we put our hands together for her, ladies?
Hello? Hello?
And so what we'll do is this. We'll pause for a few minutes, just train your eyes on the screen and enjoy the few commercials. We'll be back.
Hello? Hello, testing microphone.
You want buy something from market, and you go forget your wallet. You don't get the credit for your phone. Still go pay you day on your own. Your mama they sleep for village, you no go fit spend the money, you check your time now after 4. Yeah, carry your boat now. Oh yeah, please call star 919. Star 919. Yes, dial now. Take and send money now. Star 919. Yes, call now.
Get started with UBA Magic Banking to receive or send money, pay bills, buy airtime, check your account balance, and open an account instantly, anywhere and anytime. Just dial star 919 hash to begin. It's Magic Banking. UBA, Africa's global.
All right, so we have it there, and can everybody do this next one? T-O. 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 Oh, you sounded like you had more energy when you came into the room earlier on, and that is for Tony Elumelu. Okay, I think you said it better the other way. Tony.
All right, thank you. Let's be seated. Let's be seated. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the keynote panel of this year's 2017 TEF graduates, and I'd like to say I appreciate all of you. Let me welcome first and foremost the man you all love. You've been calling his name, the Lion King himself. He is the chairman and moderator of this session, the originator and founder of Afri-Capitalism. Please welcome Mr. Tony Elumelu. Thank you. Thank you. As I welcome, thank you, The best boost that we will get is when you are successful as this man in the coming years. And so, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as I welcome the Deputy Governor of Ondo State, let me now invite our special guest of honor. One of the greatest things about this man, beyond the fact that he loves ease of doing business, he is a workaholic. At the just concluded economic summit, he landed in Nigeria at 3 a.m. He was in the hall of the event at 9 a.m. in the morning. That's the kind of man that you have. In his office, he has young people around him. You write a letter to his office, you got a reply the next day. Please welcome the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, SAN GCN. Now, this is how we flow. He is in charge of this segment as speaker and moderator. But, Mr. Chairman, can we quickly take the voice of the President of Senegal before you speak? Can we have the President of Senegal speaking to all of us?
Dear Tony, my brother, dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, Tony, for this big and timely gathering. I regret that I couldn't personally accommodate your kind invitation. Private sector is a driving force when it comes to economic growth, job creation and prosperity. This is what your forum is all about. And this is particularly true for a continent like Africa, where we have to build our own destiny from ground zero by ourselves. To that end, Africans alone can, first and foremost, take initiatives, offer answers, and provide solutions. And you, dear Tony, and your fellow African entrepreneurs are our ambassadors and pathfinders for the new generation. A generation that understands that the positive transformation of a rising Africa goes along with a strong, smart, and committed entrepreneurship. This is what Tony rightly calls Afri-capitalism. And I do believe in Afri-capitalism. I can feel it around this room. I can feel the energy and the dedication that inhabit each of you, and I share your ambition for our continent. In building Africa, I trust you will also remember this twin mission: do well and do good, like the Tony Elumelu Foundation, empowering young entrepreneurs from across all African countries. I was pleased myself to host in 2015 the young Senegalese Tony Elumelu entrepreneurs in my office in Dakar. My final words will be for you, young women and young men from around our motherland. When you go back home, please remember what you have learned here and pass on the message. Use the friendships and connections that you have made and spread the knowledge and the enthusiasm taken from here. To all of us, let's not rest. Let's not spare any effort for the betterment of our continent, because the best is yet to come. I thank you.
As the President of Senegal, Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, at this point, permit me to hand over to the Chairman of Tony Elumelu Foundation. Put your hands together for him, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, thank you. Your Excellency, our hardworking, amiable, and highly supportive Vice President. As they say, all protocols observed. Because we have great people in this room today that there's no, if we start, we won't stop. But there's one man I want to recognize especially, and he will kindly indulge me because he's a king, and you hardly ask him to stand, but in this instance, he will indulge me by the powers of the VP. Chief Ebitimi Banigo, sir. This whole journey started with Chief Banigo when he offered me a job so many decades ago. Thank you very much, sir. Poverty. Poverty surrounds us in Africa. Our youth need jobs, plenty jobs. Our youth need hope, economic hope, hope for a better tomorrow. There's so much uncertainty about the future. We have seen extremism, ethnic tension, and social discontent on the rise. In Africa, we have tried different development approaches, models, to deal with these issues of poverty eradication, job creation, and creating economic hope for our people. In fact, we know that we have not made much progress. And in some areas, we can even say that we have regressed as a continent. And our development partners are not left out. They too have tried to support us. Aid inflow into Africa in the past 10 years, 2006 to 2016, is a whopping $500 billion. $469 billion. That's about $500 billion. But we all know that poverty remains unabated in Africa. And the basic human development index has not significantly changed. At times, the future looks so bleak that our young ones are forced into migration. They want to go to where they perceive economic opportunity to reside or be. And we know that they risk their lives as stowaways. They cross the Mediterranean or attempt to cross the Mediterranean on canoes. And you know the outcome? Most of them die. They don't even get to the destination. And not just that, we have also seen some of them trust traffickers, that traffickers will take them to the promised land or the land of milk and honey. But when they get there, they are subjected to the worst form of human degradation, human evil, and the so-called economic opportunities perceived that drove their action, they don't ever even get to experience it. Some of them end up selling their organs to survive. We have seen the rise of human trafficking. We can't just allow this to continue. This is not right. We can't look on without doing something. This is a fundamental reason why we have the Tony Elumelu Foundation doing what we're doing here. We saw the Arab Spring and what led to it. It was a lesson, but unfortunately, as a continent, I don't think we've learned so much from that lesson. In Africa, I say to people, and we've all heard it today, we have the most precious development resource, and that is people. And people are young people. Our people are young, talented, energetic, hardworking, and extremely enterprising. And let us remind ourselves about the power of individuals. So if we have people who are enterprising, young, energetic, hardworking, let us remind ourselves what potent capacity and opportunities lie in this. I'll share 3 cases. First, Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs is an individual. He founded Apple. He founded Apple, and today, Apple's market cap, the value of the company today, is close to $900 billion, almost $1 trillion. And it's not just that, the cash this company has, cash sitting down in the account, is about $300 billion. To put it in context, our country, our foreign reserve is about $35 billion. One company funded by an individual has cash balances of over $300 billion. Bill Gates founded Microsoft, and today, its market value is close to $600 billion. Cash balances about $130 billion. One individual. And let's leave America and go to China. Jack Ma founded Alibaba. The market value is about $500 billion. Cash balance, about $30 billion. So the point is, what all these great men, what do they and their companies have in common? They have ingenuity, they have creativity, they have ideas, and most importantly, they have passion. But there's one more thing that's outside their own control. And that is, in my viewpoint, why those of you in this room and even entrepreneurs across Africa, our young ones, who have great similar ideas, who are very creative, in fact, if not more so than these men. The difference why these men succeeded and why it remains a bit of a challenge for us to get there is explained by 2 factors. One, the operating environment. And that is why, when our VP was introduced as Mr. Ease of Doing Business, Mr. VP, I think for the government, President Buhari and Oshibajo's government, and for your legacy, it is a good place to be introduced and recognized as Ease of Doing Business apostle and driver. Because if we fix that, we'll fix the continent. We fix Nigeria, we'll unleash the latent potential and energies and creativity of our people, and indeed, we'll have more Steve Jobs out of Nigeria and Africa. The second factor is the ease of translating ideas to action. The mechanism, the transmission mechanism that takes ideas to action, extremely important. But it's also tied to the operating environment and tied to yourselves and ourselves who have ideas, who must realize that the easiest thing to do is to dream dreams, but the more difficult thing to translate that dream to action. And as you have been told today, that journey and process is usually tough. You must be resilient to be able to bounce back if you encounter challenges. Our people are creative, hardworking, and extremely enterprising. They say when I interact with them that they are experiencing stifling operating environment, they lack support, they deal with neglect, godfatherism, and the absence of meritocracy. They need a hand up. They need a little push. And for so long, we have carried on with a certain entitlement mentality that others will develop and solve our problems. These issues and reflections led me to some conclusions and decisions. One, no one but us will develop Africa. And the world should rethink how to engage with and intervene in Africa. If despite the sum of $500 billion spent in the past 10 years, we still remain perpetually dependent, and poverty reduction needle has not really moved significantly. And by the way, let us not be shy to say to ourselves that Africa remains largely underdeveloped. A new development model is therefore needed. A development model that embraces shared prosperity and local value addition and long-term investment, and also private sector development and ultimately entrepreneurship. Hence, Afro-capitalism. Afro-capitalism is a development model that prioritizes our youth and creates hope for them. It's a bottom-up approach to development, an all-inclusive approach that brings development to everyone. One that creates economic empowerment, and one that creates hope for the future. Our people have ideas and are ready to work. They want to be given opportunity and a helping hand, just like Steve Jobs, Bill Gates have in their time. Can we imagine if Steve Jobs was in a different from a different continent or country? Today he's dead, but he's left behind a company that has value of over 800 billion naira, cash about 300 billion, but he's dead. If he was in a different climate, different environment, it's possible he would have gone to the grave with his ideas. And who knows how many people in our environment who go to the grave with their ideas. And the amount of losses that we as a continent suffer from this. We must realize this, and this must lead us to do things in a different way going forward. Another conclusion I came up with, that luck should be democratized, and that it's not what we keep in our bank accounts account. What matters ultimately is the legacy that we leave behind. It is based on the foregoing that my family, and my wife is here, Dr. Elumelu, please stand up. And it is based on this that my family, through the Tony Elumelu Foundation, committed a sum of $100 million to give hope and opportunities to you, young Africans. From all our 54 countries, male, females, totally sector agnostic, to make sure that your ideas don't just die in your brains. Everyone needs that support to be able to translate the ideas he or she has to action. The amount is not much, $5,000 fair to prove your concept, and another $5,000 to take it to the next level. But it can make a difference. And that's what we hope to achieve by investing in you. 2017, you are the third cohort of the Tony Elumelu Entrepreneurship Program. And you were selected out of 98,000 applicants. So I say a big congratulations to all 1,000 of you. Africa needs you. Your ideas indeed will transform Africa. Your role and place, however, comes with a huge burden. First, you must succeed. Because your success is not just a personal one. It is and will be for all of Africa. And that is a burden. So you owe it to others who don't have this opportunity. You owe it to the other 97,000 people who didn't get selected to succeed. Because if you succeed, it will impact positively on them. And you will contribute your ambitions and visions to addressing some of the challenges we face in Africa. Those who wear the shoes know best where they pinch. We have to collectively, each according to its capability, join hands in helping to transform Africa. This is a call that you have today. And you and other entrepreneurs must keep passing the baton until there's no more poverty in Africa, until there's no need for our people to search outside for success, when indeed success resides in Africa. When no more risky crossings of the Mediterranean will be, and where no more extremism induced by hopelessness. This is a generational and continental challenge. This is the future we want for Africa. And this is the future that is now in your hands. Good luck.
It is happening here at the Lagos campus of the Nigerian Law School Auditorium. You may wish to ask, what is cooking? It is the third in the series of Tony Elumelu Foundation TEV Entrepreneurship Forum 2017. Undoubtedly, the largest gathering of entrepreneurs in Africa. Of course, being brought to you live and direct from the state of aquatic splendor by the largest television network in sub-Saharan Africa, the NTA. On the driver's seat with me is Busola Ademiluyi. Busola, let our people know how it is going.
Thank you very much for Tai. Of course, today's gathering is a gathering of over 1,000 people from 54 African countries in Lagos.
Thank you very much. Please sit. Your Excellency, the Governor of Katsina State, Governor Aminu Bello Masari, Your Excellency, the Governor of Zamfara State, Abdulaziz Yari, Your Excellency, the wife of the Governor of Ogun State, Mrs. Olufunsho Amosun, the former Prime Minister of Benin Republic, Mr. Lionel Zinzu, Honorable Minister of Communications, Mr. Adebayo Shitu, my brother and friend, founder of the Tony Elumelu Foundation, Tony Elumelu, and his wife, Dr. Mrs. Awele Elumelu. President of the Dangote Group, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, the Amanayabo of the Okpobo Kingdom, King Ebitimu Badnigo, the chairman of the Boer Group, Abdul Samad Rabiu, heads of government agencies and parastatals present, Your Excellency, the former governor of Ogun State, Chief Olusegun Oshoba, captains of industry, all of the members of the 2017 Tony Elumelu cohorts, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. First, let me say to the 2017 cohorts of the Tony Elumelu Entrepreneurship Program, that is a very special pleasure to meet you guys. By all predictions, you will be the wealthiest and most successful people in a few short years. I'd like to ask that you don't forget me when the good times come. But seriously, I've always considered, I've always known that this group of individuals, this group of young people, this generation of young people, will do the exceptional, Earlier this week, I spoke at the Financial Times Africa Summit on the theme, What Makes Africa Work? Here in this room are seated the answers to that question. Indeed, we have right here with us 1,000 reasons why Africa will work. And you are those reasons why this country will work. Across agriculture, ICT, hospitality, fashion, energy, manufacturing, entertainment, and many other fields, the breadth and depth of talent and innovation on display in the current and previous Tony Elumelu entrepreneurship cohorts have shown that there is indeed hope. The 2016 set, we have Osakwe Chukwunonso, who is building vehicles that will run on clean energy. Soji Megbonwon is creating educational products that will simplify STEM, especially the teaching of STEM subjects. Sierra Leonean Edmond Noni, from the 2015 set, built a tracking tool that proved useful following the devastating flood in his home country of Sierra Leone. Frank Mugarura of Rwanda is the proprietor of a branding and marketing agency that is set to conquer the continent. Ikem Okocha, Mama Money as she's called, runs a prolific microcredit enterprise. These are merely a handful of some of the inspiring stories that have preceded you, and we know now that indeed Africa is set for incredible progress in the next few years. When I considered what to talk to you about, I realized that obviously you would have learned practically everything that you need to know for now about entrepreneurship. But I thought I should share with you some of my thoughts on a subject that has always fascinated me, the subject of history, especially the tyranny of history. And so I chose the theme, the tyranny of history, or the tyranny of the past. History defined simply as the past of individuals like you and I, and the past of nations and peoples. The power of history to present the past sometimes so compellingly in the present. History in its best form, in its role especially as time, where time is a healer. But it's perhaps the tyranny of history, the way that history seems to want to control us and control the present, which always seems to me to be the most interesting and at the same time the most challenging. How history can tie us down, compelling us to look backwards until sometimes we trip, compelling us to look at the present with fear and apprehension. How history, our past, especially past failures, individually or collectively, can become a barrier to achievement or freedom. Our political history in Africa would appear dominated by wars, by famines, by coups d'etat, by corrupt governments and dictators, and failed or failing states. Our economic history would also largely be of large-scale poverty, infant mortality, maternal mortality, illiteracy, disease, and misery. So our history may seek to define our future in Africa, especially our expectations of the coming years. History of this bleak sort has a way of subduing our faith. It has a way of constricting our vision for our nation and for our society, and indeed for ourselves. In the same way, a history of personal failure can cripple our hope, can limit our vision. It can frighten us into a small perspective of life. Our family history, the misery and deprivations of our beginnings, the shame sometimes and the disgrace of the past, the spectacular failures of the past are the tyrannical weapons of history. And these weapons whip us in line when we're thinking big, cutting us down to size as our self-esteem rises. Our past is sometimes always just yelling at us, unworthy, 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 as we struggle to do right, to live right, and to live with dignity. But history, we must remember, is not only merely a record of the past, but it is the past. It is gone. Our future is not determined by history of the past, unless we allow it. The history of Africa does not determine its future. The days you live in are much greater and better than the past. "30 years ago, mobile phones didn't exist. To speak to people in another country, you queued up for hours in a public telephone exchange, waiting for your turn, if it ever came. Today, we can't imagine life without our smartphones and FaceTime and Skype. So today, we can collaborate across continents in seconds from anywhere in the world. Researches that took us months, and I can tell you this because I'm a professor. I spent many years researching. And researches that took months to do are only a Google search away within seconds today. Education that required us to leave towns and villages to schools far away and abroad now are available online. So when you leave here, you can continue whatever conversations you were having on WhatsApp or Instagram or iMessenger or whatever other form you choose without a break. We are today nearer defeating hunger and famine than ever before in human history. With improved seedlings and inputs and new farming practices, farmers can produce multiples of what they produced on the same acreage years ago. We are closer than ever before in discovering cures or palliatives to practically any disease. We can, with a bit more diligence in Africa, diligence in immunization, eradicate most of the causes of infant mortality. Already, we're living longer and more healthily than any time in human history. All the IQ tests, and when you do a progression over the years, show that current generations are smarter than the past. And so you guys are much smarter than us. And so, as President Obama said, we must always be suspicious of those who are always talking about the good old days. Today, the great days have come. As for our personal failures and shortcomings of the past, you are in good company. Everyone that has ever succeeded must have their own story of failures, their own personal failings and their shortcomings. Indeed, success is only success because you can compare it with failure. Permit me as I close to rework the thinking of Fulgham and make a few, in some cases, controversial statements. And I'd like you to remember them, if only to humor me in a few years if you find that they're not true. The first is that dreams pursued with single-mindedness are more powerful than facts. I want to repeat that. That dreams pursued with single-mindedness are more powerful than even facts. Two, that courage and persistence can triumph even over experience, no matter whose experience. Courage and persistence can triumph even over experience. The third is that hope and imagination are more potent than history. that hope and imagination are more potent than history. Because your history is not necessarily your destiny. Indeed, your history must not be your destiny. And so, let me wish that the years to come prove your vision and bring you, your nations, and our continent prosperity. Thank you very much.
That was the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Well,
His Excellency,
the round
President,
of applause belongs
His Excellency,
to the past. I will now give one for the future to His Excellency.
Given that inspirational message to the youth here, even at the venue
Thank you very much.
Third Elumelu
As I welcome His
Foundation
Excellency the former governor
Entrepreneurship
of
Forum
and his lovely wife.
2017.
I will yield the stage
I want you to know that this forum
to the chairman,
is a gathering of over 1,000 people, youth most particularly, from about over 54 countries. And we have so many of them here. We have so many important personalities here. And of course, you've seen the Vice President of Nigeria, Professor Osinbajo, there.
Before, it's actually not me engaging His Excellency. We want you to have 10 minutes of interaction with His Excellency and I. But before then, I understand the representative of President Obama is in audience. Peter, please come and give a... Peter will tell you more, not me, but as I believe you know, President Obama had just launched the Obama Foundation. So he couldn't come, but we have his director here, Peter. Peter, you're welcome on stage. Peter, you can...
Good afternoon. I would like to thank Your Excellencies and Mr. Elumelu for having me here today. My name is Peter Rumlett, and I work with the Obama Foundation. And I didn't come here to give a speech today. I came here to listen and learn from you all. President Obama created his new foundation because he knows that the future is in the hands of the young, and that you all are the future for Africa and for the world. I came here yesterday and I listened to your stories and the energy you have, and I am completely inspired. The hair on my arms has been lifted as I listen to your stories and your passion, and I'm completely humbled to be amongst all of you. And I'm not here to wish you success. I'm here to tell you that I look forward to it. I know it's going to happen, and I can't wait to see it. Thank you very much for having me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you. So the floor is open. You want to interact with the Vice President of Nigeria. He's here, and I'm also available. So let's interact with our entrepreneurs, please. You should be looking behind to see that they're raising their hands. So we can take like 3 from this side, 3 here, 3 there, right? Okay, so let's start. Please give us your names, your country, and your sector, what you do, the type of business you do. Name, country, kind of business that you do.
Thank you so much. Okay, my name is Kanayo Onyenkwere. I'm from Nigeria. I'm into education sector.
Can we hear him? Okay.
Okay, now, okay. I said my name is Kanayo Onyenkwere. I am from Nigeria. I am in the educational sector, and the purpose of me being in the educational sector is to build, to restore, and to sustain right moral value in Nigeria and Africa at large. So based on that, I can see that everything that has been said today, in the old, I'll take with this, in the old we had A for apple, but in the future and in the now, we should be having A for apology, B for belief, C for commitment, and D for discipline. I have written 8 books. I've written 8 books for children, and currently it has been accepted by Lagos State Ministry of Education, National Retention Agency want to adopt it for Change Begins With Me campaign. And my question here is, Mr. Tony Elumelu, I appreciate all you do. I'm a fan of you, and I want to say is, we want to.
Quiet, please. Quiet, summarize.
Thank you, sir. We want to officially unveil our books and a campaign called Value Campaign for Africa, and we want you to be the chief, the lion, because you are our lion king, and I want you to be the lion king for this unveiling. We want to do it in April, where every child in Africa begin to learn and begin to develop on time with the values of integrity, honesty, faithfulness, kindness, and it's going to be consistently taught. Thank you so much, sir. I want you to do that for me.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Next person. So His Excellency will respond to the comments together at the end. So let's finish. Next person. But your request is noted, and the foundation will come back to you.
My name's Nalwega Joan from Uganda, and I'm into the health sector.
Into what?
Into the health sector.
Production, can you help us tweak this audio system, please?
My name's Nalwega Joan, and I'm from Uganda. I'm into the health sector. We aim at having a malaria-free world by making mosquito repellent soap from organic components. Yes. Thank you.
So no comment. Okay, thanks. Okay, next. So sorry. Okay, your question.
Okay, my question is, I would like to know from Mr. Tony Elumelu to know, like, your motivation. I've heard a lot about you, but I've not heard your motivation to come up with all this big idea, and you support all of us, the 1,000 entrepreneurs every year. Like, I would like to know your story, because like, I don't know what is behind that. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Number 3.
Hello.
Some quiet, please. Quiet, please. Number 3.
Good afternoon, sirs. My name is Yoracham. I am from the Gambia. I just wanted to ask, in your perspective, the previous session we had people from the venture firm capital or venture capitalist institutions. And what they all said were they give funds to banks for the banks to lend to entrepreneurs. And we are startups. And I've noticed that all across Africa, interest rates that banks charge are from 25% above. From my country, it's 27%, and I learned that in Nigeria, it's about 29%. What can the government of Nigeria, through the Tony Elumelu Foundation, do with regards to policies to help startups to reduce the interest rates that the banks charge so that we can gain access to more finance and grow up our businesses? Thank you.
Thank you. Can we come this way, please? We have the 3 people lined up. Binta, can we start, please? Number 1. Binta, can we start, please? Number 1.
Yes. My name is Samuel Okpa, and I'm a 2016 alumni.
Some quiet, please. Some quiet, please.
I'm Samuel Okpa, and I'm a 2016 alumni. I want to seize this opportunity to express my heartfelt gratitude to the foundation for what they've done to me so far. All right. after, not just about receiving the seed capital, the foundation has also helped our business in several ways. They've secured partnership for us with GE, and we learned how to. Now, my question is to His Excellency the Vice President. Please, sir, I want to point your attention to what happened to us in your intervention program in YIEDP. YIEDP was a CBN intervention program that was set to empower Nigerians. We were 310 participants that were shortlisted, and we were actually given loan. It was actually a loan. I received a lot together with other of my colleagues December last year, and I built, we planned around it. I had 3 million naira alert in my account. Together with the seed funding of the Elumelu Foundation, I built my plans around it. And in July, the money was taken out of my account and several others. 273 of us. The funds were taken back by CBN with the excuse that the Heritage Bank that was supposed to hand over this money to us were delaying us. And then they had to just take this money back without any other explanation. And then this vacuum has been created because I had already planned that I'm going to use this fund together with other Nigerians. The time I had invested, I go to the banks every day. They will keep saying, do this, do this. It was really frustrating.
Okay. The point is noted. Now, next person. Hold on, let me appeal to our entrepreneurs. Please. The baton has just been passed on to you guys, so we need to be orderly. Let us allow people to speak, please. And let us allow the Vice President and others to listen or hear what they are saying. The next person, please.
Good afternoon, Your Excellency. Good afternoon, Sir Tony. Before I go ahead with my question, I want to first and foremost appreciate Sir Tony for thinking about me when he never knew me. I am in the food, health, and beauty sector. This is my product. I'm into coconut-based products. We have a challenge of having raw materials in this country. So when you talk about coconuts, you only look at the Asian countries. So I had this vision of bringing in coconuts and its products into Nigeria, into Africa, and then into the world as a whole. So I want to know, how can my government be of help to me?
Which country are you from?
I'm from Nigeria.
Okay.
How can my government be of help to me that my products can reach a country like Mexico? How can my government be a help to me that my products can reach a government like Australia?
Shego will be listening. No.
I'm thinking outside Africa. I want to represent Africa as a whole in the other continents. Right. Then secondly...
So your name is...
My name is Angela Mbride. I'm from Akwa Ibom State.
Okay, all right.
My second question is...
Sorry, Shego, do you want to repeat the question? You heard the question? Okay.
Is it possible that our authorities can look into the policies that support SMEs so that it can be a little bit fair for us? I also want to use this opportunity, Sir Tony, I'm so glad, to call upon 40 members of my friend here that took out the opportunity to say a thank you that is not enough for what you did to us. There it comes. And this is for Mommy Ewele Elumelu. Please, can we all do that?
Thank you very much. Thank you. Kenya. I don't know. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Hold
on. On behalf of 2017 Entrepreneur Training, we want to say a big thank you for believing in our dreams, for giving us hope to change Africa. We are so happy. This is the only way we can say thank you. And we are assuring you that we will surpass your expectation. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Just 1 second, 1 second.
Mommy, I'm presenting this to you as a mother. I am a mother, and I understand that as a woman and a mother, you need this coconut oil in your kitchen, in your bathroom, and in your makeup kit. Thank you very much.
Okay, let's take the last question, please. Let's take the third and last, please.
Thank you. My name is Dennis Mtoro. My name is Dennis Mtoro. I'm from Kenya, East Africa. I am in logistics. I run a company called Africa Logistics Limited. My question is in regards to the partnerships that the Tony Elumelu Foundation would like to have with the countries. For example, in my country, we already have a youth fund and a women fund that has structures. Is it possible, now that you have a UBA branch in our country, is it possible to work with our youth fund to enable the current cohorts and the current finalists who can be able to work with the rest of the people, young people, to mentor them, upscale them, and probably walk through them through the journey of Tony Elumelu Foundation? Secondly, we are proud to tell you that within our country, we had 5 finalists who were sponsored by flight tickets to come for this forum through our government. But we have not seen the Tony Elumelu Foundation reaching out to our government to see how we can work together. Can you please, we request you, in the next few months, come to our country so that we can work together and see how we can partner in the future.
Which country, please? Which country?
Kenya.
Kenya, okay,
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's take responses. But first, before His Excellency speaks, we have here the Executive Chairman of Nigerian Export. You don't want to come? Okay. Okay. All right. So let's now respond to, before I hand over the microphone, 2 questions or comments are directed to me. One is your last comment. Yes, we will note it when we visit Kenya next year to advance the point that you've raised. And the issue of motivation. Someone asked about motivation and what drives what we do. And actually, His Excellency said to me, you must write a book on this. So I would say, let's wait for the book to come out. But actually, what motivates me, I've shared it here. The fact that we just can't look on and watch some of these things continue to happen. And I must say that what we do is not because we have so much money, but it's a question of reordering of our priorities and needs to have some comfort and also share prosperity amongst us, realizing that poverty anywhere is a threat to mankind everywhere. So the more, the better. That is the motivation. So His Excellency will now respond to the comments.
Okay. Thank you very much. I think the first question was on policies to help startups. What policies could the government implement to help startups? Already there are quite a few. I think the problem we have quite a few of these policies, the Bank of Industry, the CBN, some of what was mentioned. I think what we are trying to work on now is how these policies can be brought to scale so that more people are able to benefit and more people are reached by it. What we have at the moment are several policies coming from several different government agencies. And we really need to work together. We need to bring them all together and then bring them up to scale. Because really, what we're talking about are very, very large numbers in Nigeria. Very, very large numbers. So we can't do your 1,000, 2,000 here. We need to be able to deal with hundreds of thousands. And that's really what we're trying to work on now, to do an MSME policy that is big enough, wide enough, and covers enough scale to be able to address the problems that are on ground. I'll follow up on this CBN issue. I think that I would have, I have two heads of agencies here with me, and I'd want Samuel to be in touch as, if you can immediately, either with Mr. Segun Awolo or Ms. Dr. Oduwole. Both of them are sitting right here, you know, just so that we can follow this up and find out what happened. With respect to Angela's question on what to do with her product, especially getting her product out to the rest of Africa, again, the Director General of the Nigerian Export Promotion Council is right here. So I think you might want to catch up with him. He's sitting right here in front of me, Mr. Segun Awolo. So you might want to catch up with him right now. You may not get a chance to do so when I leave here because he's going with me. So I think you better come and sit next to him now and talk. Yeah, I think that's about it. The only other question was the one that Dennis asked, and that I think was for UBA. Thank you very much.
So, MC, Pamenda, the signing of the partnership, the MOU, can we do that quickly, please, for His Excellency leaves?
It's been a wonderful session here at the Tony Elumelu Foundation Entrepreneurship Forum for 2017. We'd like to take you down memory lane that the program was done in 2015 in Senegal, in 2016 in Kenya, and 2017 is taking place right now in Nigeria. We quickly want to also inform you that we've had series of plenary, and we've spoken about Africa capitalism. We've spoken of extending, you know, the frontiers, branding, marketing, and building brands. We've spoken about the potential profits, growing ideas into businesses, and a lot of other things. You know, having said here today, changing Africa's development paradigm through investment and entrepreneurship. And we've had different people, you know, leaders and businessmen here, captains, you know, of various multinationals here this day to talk to our people. And we've been also motivated and inspired by the Vice President of Nigeria, who told us that the future does not depend on the past. And we also heard, even from the Lion King himself, that poverty anywhere is a threat to humanity. He's here putting smiles into the faces of our youth, empowering them and helping them to have hope for a greater future. Fatai, what do you have to say about this?
It's really been very, very encouraging. There have been different sessions. There have been talk on changing African development paradigm through investment and entrepreneurship. Of course, we've also heard talk on Destination Africa, financing Africa's future. We're talking of a continent of over 1 billion people, whose gross domestic product is about $1.5 billion. How do we improve on this? Of course, there have been global remittances, which has grown highly, but the impact of the flow has not been felt because of high unemployment rates.
Testing the handshake. Making sure he wasn't going to leave.
No. Well, right now, nobody is leaving because everyone is ready.
The VP, taking...
Over there, am I right? Okay, media-wise, okay, on that side. So, I'm calling up for the very first presentations,
you know, and presentations from the youths to the Lion King, their motivator, their inspirator, Tony Elumelu. Now it's time to give the awards. The Entrepreneurship Award is about to be given to Mrs. Monet, called Mama Monet from Nigeria.
Most impactful Tony Elumelu Entrepreneurship Award 2017 goes to Nkem Okocha from Nigeria, CEO Mama Monet. These next three awards, in no particular reference of first, second, or third, but they are three, are classed as the Tony Elumelu Foundation Recognition Award. And the first goes to Kwabena Danso from Ghana, CEO Boomers International, manufacturing sector for eco-friendly bamboo bicycles. Congratulations to Kwabena Danso from Ghana, manufacturing eco-friendly bamboo bicycles, CEO Boomers International. And the second Tony Elumelu Foundation Recognition Award goes to Ahmed Abbas, Egypt, Sun City Energy. Congratulations to Ahmed Abbas of Egypt, Sun City Energy. And the third Tony Elumelu Foundation Recognition Award goes to Husseinatou Diallo from Senegal, Baksuma Company, an agro-allied business, and they're into 100% fruit juice packaging. Another round of applause. Husseinatou Diallo, Senegal, Baksuma Company. And this year's Founders Award 2017 from the Tony Elumelu Foundation goes to none other than Ugandan Ambassador Joel Cherop, Atari River Integrated Irrigation Initiative. Learn as you earn. What did he say? Atanda, Atanda. Congratulations. It's an agribusiness. Learn as you earn. Atari River Integrated Irrigation Initiative and Venture. Joel Cherop from Uganda. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, congratulations to all our winners. All the winners together, please, for a group picture with His Excellency and the Chairman of TEF, as well as the CEO. Thank you. We'd like to use this opportunity to appreciate the presence of Fidelity Bank MD, Nnamdi Okonkwo. You're welcome. Thank you. Congratulations once again to all of our distinguished awardees. Thank you to the CEO. And right now we're just setting the stage for the signing of the MOU, and with that comes a table. And of course on the table, those components that make this signing a legacy, expression, and document of the future in the now. TF, well, even as this is ongoing, once again, we believe that the expressions today, even by His Excellency, the Vice President, are those that take us to a place where you don't just dream, we do. And as doers, we run with the vision and esteem, greater than vision, the power of our dreams, both to will and to do. Thank you.
You've seen excellence, rewarded here today with various awards, being given out today, reeled out to people from all over Africa. As I said earlier on, we have over 50 people from over 54 countries represented here, including representative of the Obama Foundation and other multinationals being represented here today. And you heard that the Agro-Allied Business Award, goes to Senegal. Also, we have the Founders Award, which went to Uganda ambassador doing something on irrigation. And you've been told earlier on that you can reach out to the stars, provided you are focused.
You're very welcome,
you are
sir,
focused, And right here we are welcoming the Deputy Governor, of Ondo State,
on behalf
to the program here.
AFD, we would like to invite country manager
here today. We have been motivated
Olivier
by the
Lion
King himself and all the guests that are present.
This memorandum between TEF.
Talking about motivation, it's been really heartwarming listening to the President Dangote Group, Aliko Dangote himself, saying the conglomerate has the largest footprint in West Africa. You're talking of Dangote Oil and Gas with launch, the largest refinery, we have the rise of the sugar investment of over $20 billion. But has it been smooth sailing all the way? No, not without the challenges. We'll talk about the challenges later.
To just let you know what it is that we're signing. We have a pleasure of signing an MOU with the Development Bank from France, the French Development Bank, AFD, to do three things. One is to provide a guarantee scheme for ongoing funding to Tony Elumelu entrepreneurs and other SMEs. As you heard from Olivia this morning, the second area of collaboration is to really leverage their staff of 2,000 plus to be a source of mentoring and mentors for the Tony Elumelu entrepreneurs. And the third area of collaboration is to leverage their technical assistance and support to support the Tony Elumelu Foundation in continuing to produce research publications which lead to policy development. So, thank you so much.
And for the second MOU, we'd like to invite the Director, African Regional Center, UNDP, Lamine Mane, to please come up to sign this next MOU between the UNDP and TEF. Oh, thank you. Thank you, as well as our Nigerian UNDP representative. The Tony Elumelu Foundation today signs a memorandum of understanding with the United Nations Development Program to express their interest to work together to further promote entrepreneurship in Africa. UNDP and TEF intend to equip startups and existing small enterprises.
Okay, while our chairman is signing the MOU, again, let me just give you an executive summary. Firstly, it's again working with UNDP with their extraordinary Pan-Africa reach, 49 countries, and years of experience to help and work with the Tony Elumelu Foundation to take the program structure and the framework that we have developed around training, mentoring, funding, and networking to a next level, to a much greater scale. Secondly, is to also look at ways in which we can develop and entrepreneurship investment facilities. So this is around financing instruments that will really help to address the big problem that many entrepreneurs face around access to capital.
So I've witnessed here the signing of the MOU with the Development Bank of France in the area of provision of mentorship, leverage for technical assistance and support in the area of research publication leading to policy development. Also, you've also seen there the signing of MOU between Tony Elumelu Foundation and the UNDP's representative to Nigeria to express interest to work together to assist small enterprises, because UNDP, has a reach to over 49 countries. And also in the area of training, funding, mentorship, networking, and of course developing entrepreneurial financing.
Well, the signing was done by the President and the Vice President.
To access capital.
And so every side will follow that. For your sake.
Yeah, of course, talking about the
challenge, ladies and gentlemen.
Aliko Dangote spoke about the challenge of power, collapse in commodity price, weak rule of law, low interchange rate. But all of this is said a resilient investor can overcome, even the lack of consistency in government policy. And it's charged to them. I mean, to the investors, think big, start small, be prudent, learn to bounce back.
Please, Your Excellencies, the governors, please, can we clear the path for them? Prime Minister, please, former governor of Ogun State, please join them right here on stage for a group photograph. Your Excellency, thank you. Let me also invite the wife. I want to invite you to.
Anthem rounds off to this year's edition of
the First Lady of Ogun State
Foundation.
Okay, we invite you all, the representative of His Excellency the Governor of Lagos State. And so while the photograph is going on, I want to say thank you to all of you and congratulations to the class of 2017. On behalf of my colleague Idayo, Adeni, Benjamin, I'd like to say thank you to all of you. It's been amazing spending the last 2 days with you all. God bless you. Go out there and conquer.
Hello. Distinguished forum delegates, please. Protocol. Please sit and remain seated until His Excellency and the VIP entourage of the special guests to this event are able to leave the room. Please. Entrepreneurs, you need to stay in the room to take your group picture with the chairman. Please be patient. You may be seated. Thank you. Thank you very much. Once again, protocols demand that you be seated. All the distinguished forum entrepreneurs, all of our distinguished African delegates to this entrepreneurship convergence, please be seated. Thank you for your patience. Thank you very much.
Badon. The Tony Elumelu Foundation Program, which is the Entrepreneurship Forum for 2017. It's a 2-day program which started on the 12th to 13th, from the 12th to 13th of October 2017. And the program is a large one which is committed to driving the economy, the economic transformation of Africa through structured support to continent entrepreneurs. And since 2015, the foundation had supported 3,000 African startups with training, mentoring, funding, and membership to Africa's largest network.
Well, I can speak for the Nigerian government, and as you know, we are very committed to ease of doing business. The president set up
values they need to succeed as a next generation of business.
Which, as you know, completed a 6 billion national action plan with 70%. And we've started the second 6 billion national action plan. And we have, a lot of benchmarks. We have very aggressive timeline. And so we're seeing a lot of progress in the ease of doing business. But as you know, it's of course an evolving one. But we're seeing a great deal of success. We think that ease of doing business is entirely strategic to the success of business, of course, the success of our own economy. This is a priority for us.
Sir, lack of consistency in government policy. How do we address this? Lack of consistency of government policy.
The only way to avoid lack of consistency is to ensure that there is consistency and to have governments that are serious about what they're doing. As far as the government of Nigeria is concerned today, we're very serious. We are committed to the programs that we're implementing, and we have done so
We've ensured that we have timelines, we have thresholds, we've set all of the right parameters for doing what we need to do. And we're doing it consistently.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. My Excellency, sir.
Can you give us a break? Let's give us a break.
50 people, youths from about 54, countries in Africa. This is where we're going to round it up on this special program today, which came to you from the Nigerian Television Authority, the largest television network in Africa. You have been encouraged to go out there and take your life, by the horns, and of course succeed and achieve the greatest and be one of the greatest titans in the entrepreneurship world in Africa. My name is Busola Ademilui, and I've been here with Fatai Adiloja. The venue of the program has been the hall of the Law School in Lagos. Thank you very much for being there, and I want to encourage our youths out there also to do something. There is no end to something you have started. It's only when you have not started anything that there's no vision in sight. Do something, start something, and go for the best. God bless you. Thank you very much. Bye for now.
You are watching NTA, Nigerian